Friends. I am so excited to have you here. It is Monday and it is 8 o'clock. It's 8:01. I'm a minute late. Please excuse me for being a minute late. This is actually early for me for being late. Very late person normally. But anyway, welcome in. I am Julie Maxon, the Maine Stamper. I'm here for your weekly card class for Maine, and I'm so excited to welcome you in. I have a couple of announcements, and some of them are super awesome. So I'm going to start with those because I know that Facebook takes a couple minutes or so for everyone to realize that I am live. Now, while we're doing this kind of pre-start to tonight's class, I'm also going to be checking on my tech a little bit. So please say hi as you can see and hear me and jump on. Let me know that everything's working okay so that I just don't record an entire class of absolutely nothing. And tonight's class is going to be festive and fun and friendly, of course. We're going to be talking about the Festive Friends Bundle by Stampin' Up. This is a really cute one. When it first came out, I think there were a few people that weren't really sure about the images in the stamp set. So you either grew to love it or you loved it right off the beginning. So I'd love to know what you feel about the Festive Friends Bundle. So we're going to get going here in just a minute. I am still playing with my tech, and I'm going to do my best to not mess this up. So let me just check my laptop over here 1 second. Looking to see if we have any friends on here yet. I don't see anybody yet. Okay, so we're still waiting for our first friends to say hi to us this evening and find out that we're live. So last week I was live on Tuesday because Monday just got way out of control for me. Normally I am live on Monday, so hopefully you guys aren't worried about the whole situation with what day I actually go live. So we're gonna just we're gonna hang out here for a second and tell me if you are seeing me and hearing me okay, and we will get started here in just a second. So if you were watching on YouTube, okay, hi, Linda Maxon says hi. Okay, I'm seeing them come in now. Carol's here. Okay, so thank you guys for letting me know. So we have a couple of friends. Over on YouTube, after I do my recording live on Facebook, I do put the video over there. So if you see part of it on Facebook, you want to watch the rest of it on YouTube, you can. These videos are forever on my YouTube channel, The Maine Stamper. Facebook will delete them after 30 days, and that's a Facebook policy. So if you're finding that videos are deleted and you're not sure where the classes went, then check YouTube because that's where they're going to be. So thank you guys for saying hi as you're jumping on. All right, I see Kathy D is here. Oh, I'm so excited. So we're going to be doing this really awesome Festive Friends class. And again, I have a couple of announcements, and I'm going to share with you the cards that we created at my in-person event this Saturday that just went past. We used all of the new November online exclusives. So if you haven't had a chance to check them out yet, please go in the store and look at them. But I'm going to share with you 4 cards that use 4 different bundles, and they are awesome. So we're going to start with our cards. We're going to talk a little bit about our class, and we're going to get going now since everybody's jumping on. So let me switch over to my workspace, and then we're going to try to do this too. So I try to be as efficient as possible here. All right, so let's talk about a couple of specials that are happening in case you didn't know. Now, I do announce all of these things on my email newsletter, so make sure you're checking that out as well. Thursday is my big newsletter that has all of Stampin' Up specials, all of my specials, and sometimes free card recipes, which this week will be a free card recipe week. So if you're not on my email newsletter list yet, jump on this week. You can check out my card recipe just to see how they work. The card recipes that I offer are only available to anyone who purchases with me during the week and also my team members. So you guys are super special. If you don't order with me and you're just watching to get inspired, absolutely stay at home and play. You can cut some paper, try to decide what size paper, get something similar, just get creative. I give you lots of layout ideas. I play with a lot of product. I use a lot of layers. So it's really easy to swap things in and do different things all on your own if that's what you love to do. All right, so Cyber Monday, our first special that we're going to talk about. This starts in December, which is really coming up around the corner, right? December 1st through 9th. This is a Stampin' Up special on Paper Pumpkin. So if you do a subscription, you're going to save money. So a subscription means you're getting 3, 6, or 12 months at a time. And the savings are listed over here on the side. Well, the savings, you can do the math. I guess you have to do craft math now. But it tells you the regular price and then the savings price. This is a really great deal. And I want you to remember that when you order Paper Pumpkin, you also earn Stampin' Rewards. So even though some of the bigger ones like the 6 and 12 month, that's a lot of money, but it's also a lot of savings and you're getting Stampin' Rewards on top of it. So that is a really good deal. If you have any questions on Paper Pumpkin, please ask. Paper Pumpkin has taken it up lots of notches. I think Paper Pumpkin is really awesome. Now, the next one that you may or may not know about is Stampin' Up! Is running a Black Friday sale. They have never had a Black Friday sale before. They've done a seasonal sale in November, typically this week. Out of the month of November, the middle of November, they run a seasonal sale. This time they are not running a seasonal sale, so unfortunately, we don't know what's going to be on sale. They are very hush-hush about it. Demonstrators don't even know. So this starts on Tuesday, next Tuesday, November 25th, and it runs through Monday, December 1st. You can get 40% off select products. This is straight from Stampin' Up. 40% off. No, it's up to 40%. So it's not going to be 40% on everything. Some things may be 10% or 15 or 20 or 25, or you get the idea, right? There'll be some things that are going to be 40, but not everything will be 40. So please don't go into this thinking everything is 40% off. And then it says select products. So again, I don't know what's going to be on sale. I don't know if it's going to be ink and paper, it's going to be punches, it's going to be just the dies, not the bundles, because they're going to get really tricky with all of the verbiage on the sale. And you can't even see, I can't even see what's on sale until November 25th. So that's the day you want to check out the store, because anything that goes on back order that was on sale will not be available on sale during this Black Friday sale. So if you have questions, please let me know. But in the meantime, think about the fact that there could be some good savings, but we really don't know what those savings are going to be. And that doesn't start until next week. Meanwhile, we're going to do a class this week. We have the Festive Friends card class. Look at these cute little Festive Friends that I printed here for the bottom. Now this week is going to be very different for me as well. And next week is also going to be, we're going to be doing a couple of different things for the next 2 weeks before we get back to regular classes in December. And yes, in December is the next time we're going to do a regular class of 4 cards. So this week, the order offer is $60 order. You're getting 6 card kits. And I should have put in parentheses 2 each of 3 designs. So I'm doubling them up, but we're only doing 3 designs this week. We have 3 little critters that we're using from Festive Friends. So you're going to make 2 Santa, 2 Elf, and 2 Snowman cards. Now, you can always substitute in other products if you want to. But you're going to get 6 card kits. They're going to be complete kits. I'm going to share with you tonight exactly what you're getting in your kit and give you some ideas on how you can use it, whether you're using Festive Friends or something else that you have in your stash. When you order 75 with me this week, you're getting the card kits. I guess I should show you the card kits. This is actually our red, white, and blue card kits. So, we have to think about how Christmassy this may or may not be. But here's your card kits. There are 2 each. I've got them all stacked up with 2 of everything in there. So they're really chunky. And you're also getting a free embellishment. These are the Traditional Sparkling Sequins. They are sequins. I wanted to say dots, but they're not dots. This is coming to you with your $75 order this week. So you're getting 6 card kits and the embellishment when you spend $75. This is good through end of day Saturday. So think about what you might want to get this week that you're maybe not sure about the Black Friday sale, because we don't really know what's going on with it. So I know it's a really tricky time to order, but if you have some things that are really you're interested in, I'm going to recommend bundles if nothing else, because Stampin' Up! Will not discount bundles farther than they're already discounted. So discounted bundles are as far as they're going to go. So there's my best guesses on what's going on there. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Festive Friends, and we're going to talk about the cute little bundle that's going on here. So this is the stamp set, Festive Friends. You can see here we have chunky and round, and some of you may or may not feel the same. So I also feel kind of short too. Yes, I am also short. I think someone met me for the first time and they said to me, You seem taller on video. I'm only 5'2". I am a shorty. And yes, I feel chunky and round most of the time. So I like these little critters. I think they're cute. We have the elf, the Santa, and the snowman. We also have a tree. And this is a cute little kind of spindly Charlie Brown type tree. If you're into the Charlie Brown Christmas trees, right? There's only 3 sentiments here. So I am going to be using an additional set to complement the sentiments on the card. Now, I feel like you would be doing this at home too, because I know you have lots of Christmas sentiments. Raise your hand if you have Christmas sentiments. I collect them. I collect a lot of things, but Christmas sentiments are absolutely my favorite too to collect, besides anything with a pine tree in it. If you've been following me for a while, anything that has a pine tree in it, I have to have it. So pine trees, Christmas sentiments, it's all good. There's a cute little snowflake here too. I will be using some of the sentiments from the Keeping Traditions stamp set. Now this is more of a scrapbooking. It's in with scrapbooking. But I want you to know that the stamps that are in with scrapbooking also work for card making and vice versa. The stamps that are in with card making also work for scrapbooking. So that's the beautiful part of it. We are so creative. We're going to make things work. So I'm going to be using a couple of these sentiments in here. They are, of course, Christmassy. So you're taking a look at them. I love this one that looks like a little postage stamp and it says December here at the top. And you can put in 24 or 25 right there. How cute is that? So this is the Keeping Tradition stamp set. We're going to be using it tonight's class with Festive Friends. And let's talk about the dies. When you bundle, you do save 10%. And I did not look up the item number for Festive Friends. So I will be including that in my emails this week as I'm talking about these cards. Festive Friends, I feel like it runs about $50 or so. And we're going to talk about what these dies do. Now, I have them on a couple of magnet sheets. These are ones that I wanted to talk about, and I am not going to be using the tag die that's in here, which is, so these are the ones that I didn't take off. The stickiest paper in the world. You guys all know how sticky this paper is. So this is kind of like a nice little rectangular tag, right? It's got a little cut out here, right here, so you can make tags for this if you're looking to make your own tags. And I did not use the little die that looks like stars. These are the only 2 dies that I haven't used in tonight's class. Now, I chose not to use the tag because I want to send you other die cuts for your card kits so that you can have a good play with some different things. Now, if you have this bundle and you want to swap in this tag, you certainly can. So that's a look at that. Now, here's the other dies. So we have dies that are going to cut out all of the our round little short critters, the elf, the Santa, and the snowman. So these are the dies right here. Very easy to figure out which is which. And there are a couple of trees. Now, I love the trees. There's a skinny pencil tree that looks very triangular. 3 points makes a triangle, Julie. So this is our triangle pencil tree. This is kind of our shaggy, I don't know, this is just, it's cute. This is another tree. It's got some cute little lines in it when you die cut it. And there's 4 different snowflake dies. So there's 4 different snowflakes. And then there is this cute little like kind of label here as well. Now this label works for your sentiments. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Santa's coming to town. There is an apostrophe S there. Santa's coming to town. And I think I have those things right here because I wanted to show them to you. Now I'm not using the tag. This is what this looks like when it's die cut, just to give you an idea. So it does punch out these cute little almost like star shaped pieces out of your die cut, and you can die cut this twice and get different colors to put in here, or you could color your white ones. If you're die cutting white, you could color the little pieces that come out and pop them back in, so you could do that if you wanted to. Now, as far as the snowflakes go, we are playing with the snowflakes tonight, and I wanted to die cut them all so you could see what they look like. I'll be sharing an image of them this week as well. So you've got just some really nice snowflake shapes, and then you've got a couple of them that do multiple snowflakes as well. So this is what they look like. We're going to be playing with some of them. Some of them are so tiny that I'm not even going to use them. They'd be great for shaker cards, but I do like the more traditional or larger snowflakes. And this is so much fun. I love playing with all these different things. So that's kind of a look at the dies that go with Festive Friends. And now we're going to get into our class here a little bit, and we're going to start working on our cards. Now tonight's class is going to go a little bit quicker because again, we only have 3 cards. We're doing 2 each of the designs in your card kits, and we're going to start out with Oh, we're not going to start out with cards. Hold on just a second. I wanted to show you something else first. I got to find all my stuff. All right, so as mentioned at the beginning, in case you're just tuning in, I'm Julie Max in the Main Stamper, and I squirrel quite a bit. But it's a lot of fun to hang out with me because you never know what's going to happen. It is live, and it can get a little nutty for sure. So on Saturday, we did a live in-person event, and we did cards with the November online exclusives. This is where I wanted to go first, is kind of share with you some of the cards from the November online exclusives. So I'm going to pop a card here on the counter. We're going to talk about this one right here. Thinking of You. I'm just looking to see real quick here on my comments if I can see all of your comments here as you're doing the comments. Okay, so Thinking of You was one of our cards. This one, oh my goodness, I really should have grabbed out all of the things that we used here. If I could share with you really quickly here what we used, as I'm going to go through my little box here real quick. I did not get these out. Well, I put these away. These are all November online exclusives. Friendly Foliage. Loving this one. This is the stamps. This is the dies. So this is the new packaging, so you can see how this looks. And this is the card that we created. We used Coastal Cabana. We used some of the great Elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP. That's a mouthful. And then we've got some of our stylish shapes. I love the stylish shapes. That's one of my favorite sets of dies. We've got circles and banners. And then we've got this beautiful card right here out of that. So make sure you're checking out the online exclusives if you have not seen them yet. Now this next card here, I'm going to lift this up a little bit so you can see how cute is this. I love it. This one is a combination of products. We're using the 3-banner punch, which we are using in tonight's class as well. So I'll be showing you the 3-banner punch. And then we used something called pop-up petals. Pop-up petals. Now we didn't use everything in pop-up petals, but we did use this cute little vase here. The flowers right here are 2-step stamping. So you do the outline and then you do the flower petals and the centers. So you can see them right here. We did them in some lovely pink and yellow colors. Very springy, pink and orange and all that good stuff. Here's the dies that go with it. These are all online exclusive once again. So these were the couple of the cards that we made on Saturday. This one was a big hit. The bear. Check out the bear. I love this one. How cute is this? So this is our little bear card. He's actually a Valentine bear. Valentine Kisses is the name of, whoops, that's not quite the right one. Let me grab out Valentine Kisses. So we've got the bear here, and then we have the dies. And we didn't make a kissing booth. We didn't make a Valentine's Day card. We made a cute little card with a bear holding a bear. Like, how adorable is that? This is cloud cover, pecan pie, a little bit of petal pink. Love these colors together. And then in my in-person classes, we also do we do decorate the insides. So that is that one. And the last one we did at my in-person class is the happy birthday. Look how fun this one is. It's just so bright and cheerful. And this one opens up just like this. So this one uses the birthday cake. It's called Cake Day. Cake Day is our bundle here. So things to make cake with. I talked to my stampers about how to make their cakes. We had a lot of fun making our cakes. And then these are the dies to create this really awesome. And you can make a card that opens like this, or you can just chop this die in half, this big die right here, and just make a single layer cake, right? You don't have to double that up if you don't want to. So there we go. So I wanted to share those with you. And the important part is that these three cards right here are going to be turned into our card class tonight with Festive Friends. So my point is that I always encourage you to take the design ideas and turn them around. Change up the colors, change up your DSP, and then make a brand new card with brand new themes. So all of these cards you're seeing sitting on my desktop right now they're going to be our Festive Friends cards for tonight. So I'm really excited to bring them to you. So I'm going to compare them as we get going, but we're going to start out with Santa Claus, and we're going to turn this card into our Santa card. So let me grab out the card kit. Now keep in mind again that in this card kit that I'm sharing with you, there is 2 of everything because this is a double. This is a double. I haven't done a double class in a long time. You're getting 3 designs this week, 2 each. So when you get your envelope at home, you'll have an envelope in an envelope because you're getting all the envelopes with your kit. And then you're going to get all of these things, 2 card bases. This is a real red. You're getting enough ribbon for 2 cards. And then you're getting all of these parts and pieces. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab, I have the card already scored, so we can just skip that step and jump ahead. And I'm going to grab out one of everything we need. So you're going to see some black. You're going to see some pretty peacock. This one is embossed, by the way. You're going to see a little bit of the Traditions of Christmas DSP. So there are choices here depending on what you're making with your card. We have some more layering pieces. Oh, you know what? I have the wrong card kit out. No, I don't. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Squirrel. For a second, I looked at this card and I was like, there's no way I'm making a Santa card out of this. Yeah, I thought I was. Yes. Santa. Yes. Okay. Wow. This is crazy. I'm confused here for a second. All right. There's a lot of pieces going on here. Maybe this is why I'm so confused, because in the end, it's all going to work out. I assure you. I've got all the cardstock here. These are not all of the cut parts and pieces, if you will. So let's see where I have all of those things, because we're going to need something. Let me set this aside. And we are looking for, oh, I know what happened. I did the wrong one first. Guess what? We're not going to do this one first. Since I've already offloaded this, I got confused. I did mention that things happen while I'm live. So this is our first oops, this happened. All right, we're going to change this up. We're going to actually be doing not Santa. So Santa will be second. We'll do Santa second. This one's actually our elf card. And our elf card is this card. And this card is the card that is right here. Okay, here we go. Hi, I'm new here. It's my first day doing a live video, so I thought I'd just try it and see how it goes. So hopefully you guys are laughing with me, because I know I have some longtime friends and followers on here, and you know that this is not my first time. I've been doing this for years. This is definitely a first, though, where I'm a little more confused than normal, and that is because I'm turning this card that you see right here into my elf card. Now I've already got all the parts and pieces out, so I'm going to share with you what the elf card looks like. So here's our little elf right here, and this is why I was confused. I had the wrong pieces. I'm looking at my Santa card and going, that's not Santa's card. So here we go. We're going to kind of compare side by side these two cards. So we're doing a landscape card here instead of a portrait. And we have our base, we have basic black, then we have an embossed layer. And this is actually, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera or not, this is actually the same embossing folder on the Pretty in Pink and the Pretty Peacock. So I've used the same embossing folder as well. We've got this piece of designer series paper that runs across. We have this little layering piece right here for our focal point. We have our focal point. And then I changed up, of course, the ribbon, the colors, and some different things like that. So that's what we're doing. We're turning this card into the elf card. So I guess we're starting with the elf first. So we're going to do this one, and then we're going to get going on other things. So now I need to find the elf card supplies. Okay, so let me change up my basket so that we have everything that we need. Now, the embossing folder I use for this one is called Beautiful Pattern Embossing Folder, and it is a newer online exclusive. It's a really cool pattern. I just wanted to share that with you. It is item 167097 in case you're interested in that. Okay, we have a couple of things here for our ink pads. Real Red and Pretty Peacock. We have, of course, our little elf. Now, I didn't mention earlier, but these Festive Friends are cling stamps. So we all know that cling stamps are going away. Everything's going to be turning into the photopolymer. And we have the Real shiny ribbon, which is in your kit. So you're getting a bunch of this red ribbon. It's gorgeous. We're going to need memento for all three of our stamping, because we're going to be using blends to color in our images. So the blends that I used on the elf, right over here, our little man, so cute, right? I did use light Pretty in Pink. Oh, I used the petal pink, light petal pink blend, which is also in my my Santa bin, because I'm sharing some of the blends today. So light petal pink, those are for his face. I've got Granny Apple, and a sad story about Granny Apple. We're going to talk about Granny Apple in a minute. Light pecan pie, and then I've got Lost Lagoon, light and dark here. So these are the blends that I'm using to color the elf. So you can see what I've got here going on. Okay. And these are all parts and pieces of your kit. So these are things you'll be die cutting and stamping, except for this right here, right? We've got our layering piece that's going to go onto our card. just like this. So all of these pieces are already good to go. You can make a great card whether you're using this set or not. And then other than that, you are stamping your elf and die cutting, and you're going to die cut a couple of the trees. We're going to talk about how cool these little trees are here in a minute. But first, let's go ahead and put some of this together, because there always are options, right? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get my glue going here. We're going to start up with our embossed piece. So you're getting 2 of everything. So you're getting 2 embossed pieces. We're going to layer this right here on the basic black cardstock mat. And again, layers, right? So this is going to go onto our card base. And I just want to share with you, in case you're not interested in creating a Christmassy card, you don't want to use this, although this does look like it'd be also the great beginnings of a nice masculine birthday card as well. We've got the plaid here, which is definitely something, I think, kind of more of a masculine pattern. But think about flipping this over if you're not really wanting to do the Festive Friends, because this paper right here is so gorgeous and it works so well. You have another layer here if you wanted to put this onto your card. You've got that beautiful red ribbon, so you can do some things here with the red ribbon. You're just going to need to do something else here to stamp if you're not using Festive Friends. So I just wanted to show you how beautiful this could be if you wanted to take this in another direction. Now I am going to use the plaid for this card because I really think that the elf on the flowers would be a little bit out of place. So we're going to go ahead and put this onto our matte pieces right here, just like so. And then with the ribbon that you're getting in your kit, you're going to cut a piece to wrap. So before you put this layer onto your card base, you're going to go ahead and wrap this along the front, tuck it on the back, and I like to use the tape runner for that. Typically I am 100% green glue. In the comments, let me know, are you tape or glue? Because I only use tape for ribbon and other little things as well. But for the most part, green glue is the way to go, in my opinion. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to tuck this to the back. So just a little bit of adhesive here on the back, and we're going to tuck this ribbon around. With the remaining ribbon that I'm sending you, you're going to have enough to make a nice little bow. So I like to make my bows separate rather than trying to get that all into one piece. Now that we've got our ribbon wrapped, which is really important, I have to tell you, sometimes I forget to wrap the ribbon. I know some of my stampers forget that too as we're sitting and making cards together. They will put something down and they'll say, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to wrap the ribbon. And then we do a little creativity at that point as well, and that's okay. Definitely ways to be creative. So here are some bones of your card right here, which is fantastic. I love where we're going with this one already. And just checking comments here real quick. Hi, Connie. Oh my gosh, Michelle's here with us. Just looking real quick to see Jess is here. Thanks for joining today's class. All right, so we're going to do some stamping now. So we got time to do a little stamping, right? After we've done a couple of crazy starts to this class, we're going to start stamping. So we're going to do our sentiment in real red. Let's see if we can bring everything in so you guys can see it too. So this is the white that you're going to stamp on it. It mattes to your basic black cardstock. So when I say matte, that means you've got the beautiful little 1/4 inch surround. So it's gorgeously matted. Now this piece right here is different. You can see here it's shorter, and I think it's the same width. It's the same width, but it is short, much like our elf man, okay? So just think about short is the elf. And we're gonna start with this piece in landscape position. We're gonna stamp Make Merry, because I thought this was a really cute sentiment to use for our little elf. So in the real red, Make Merry, right up here at the top in the corner. And this, again, this stamp set comes from the Keeping Traditions. I believe it was Keeping Traditions. I'm not even sure where it went anymore. Oh, it's right here in front of me, much like everything else that is in front of me. Keeping Traditions. So we're using a couple of the sentiments here. This is Make Merry. So we are making merry. This little elf man, he is making merry. All right, so that is it for real red. We're going to set this one aside. We're going to talk about Pretty Peacock trees. So blue tones like Pretty Peacock also, you know, could be used for trees. And here's our little skinny Charlie Brown tree. So think about using Pretty Peacock as your tree. It kind of tends to lean toward shaded spruce color. We're going to stamp our first one over here on the side, and then we're just going to create a little tableau of forestry here. Now we don't want to go up over our sentiment. Some of them can be lower, And then once you get past this, the edge of the sentiment, then you can go up higher again if you want to. You'd be able to get 5 across very easily. Now some of it's going to get covered up by our elf man, but there you go, make merry. So this is a great way to use the stamps, a sentiment, and this cute little tree. This would be really awesome just here. So maybe you're not a fan of the elf and you're like, I'm not really sure I want to put the elf on there. I want you to know right now that each of these white pieces of paper that come in your kits will work for the elf, the snowman, and the Santa. So if you wanted to make all snowman cards, you could put a snowman right here and skip the elf. So these are all interchangeable. Maybe you want this to be the Santa card, and the Santa card you want to be the elf card. So there's a lot of play with this kit, and because you're getting 2 of each of the designs, you do have extra choices there as well. All right, let me clean up this real quick. This is our Pretty Peacock Charlie Brown tree. I do like this one too, by the way. All right, so we've stamped that. Now there is not a die that cuts this. The dies that are in this die set are 2 completely different standalone trees. I'm going to go ahead and close up the Pretty Peacock right now so we don't make pretty messes with that. And let's talk about the pieces we have left in your kit. So as mentioned, you can interchange these. We are going to make the elf with this one. So I'm going to use the Memento ink because I'm going to color with my Stampin' Blends, and I want to be able to get no lines that are running. I want everything to be kind of crisp and nice and dark, and the Memento ink is perfect for that. So we're going to go ahead and stamp our elf. Again, can't see through them, but you can see the little sticker on here when you put that one together. And there we go. So here's our little elf, just like this. It's really cute, right? Let me set this guy aside, and now we do the coloring. Now, I'm going to recommend that before you color, you actually die cut. And I recommend that because if you get this all colored out and then you die cut it and it doesn't turn out as nice as you wanted it to, then you've colored and wasted color for, you know, probably not if you have to like scrap it and start over. So there's the great little surround here that's going to die cut this man out. And I already die cut one. If I can find it. Here it is, and I did some coloring on here already because I really thought this was going to be card number 3, and I would be like, okay, you've seen me color all night. Let's just, you know, get to the little details here. So I am going to share with you how I did the coloring on this one, though. And we have a few things to touch up on him still as well. Let me get this guy in camera here. So I did his skin color with the light petal pink, did the whole skin, and then I did his a lot of him with the granny apple. And I went through and did his hat and his belt and his mittens, like so. I start with a light and I go with the dark and add a little bit of dark, and then I go back and add a little bit of light. Now, as I was doing this tonight, because I made the one for my card and I made the sample one here, my light granny apple is pretty much empty. I didn't realize it was that. You can't tell in the blends when they're going to be gone. So if you love the colors, get a spare. Have some spares on hand. So this one kind of was going out the window. So I thought, okay, I'll just use this one instead of coloring a brand new one with you. And then the dark and light Lost Lagoon make up his little outfit here. So I do want to create some curls. So if I put these side by side, hopefully you can see, I gave him a little bit of blush on his cheeks. And I gave him some cute little curly hair. Now, I'm going to do that with you because I haven't done that part yet. So I took the light Pretty in Pink and the bullet end, and I just kind of circled here underneath his eye. And he's got some cute little freckles here as well. Just kind of made little semicircles. I don't know how well that may or may not show up. So there's like little semicircles after I did the petal pink. And now I'm going to come back through with petal pink and just kind of scribble around that area to blend that in. So it kind of doesn't make it look so it's just dark lines there, but it gives him a little bit. He's getting cheekbones. Come on, we all know how to put on makeup, right? We're ladies. So he's got some cheekbones here. I don't know how well this is showing up on camera. And then for the hair, because it is stamped in black and it's curly and cute, but I wanted to just really show, I grabbed out the light pecan pie and I just came down and around each of these dark lines. And I kind of made sure they go all the way up to his hat because a couple of them do not go all the way up to his hat, and just kind of went over them on both sides. So it's not a lot of coloring, but it really makes him adorably cute, right? When you add that little accent of the curls on his forehead. Now, of course, you could do other colors as well. Maybe you want your elf to have red hair. Maybe you want your elf to have blonde hair or blacker hair, right? More black than the brown. So those are all of your choices, and there is our cute little elf. Now the last thing we're going to talk about on this particular card are the trees. So I don't know if you could see them over here. There are 2 trees. They're kind of tucked in, and it just helps to bridge some of the blank space on the card. Now, if this is enough layering for you, then you don't have to add the trees in if you don't want to. But I thought maybe we could add in the trees. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to die cut the trees on basic black and Pretty Peacock. So you're going to see here that this is going to work for you perfectly. This is something you'll be doing at home if you have this bundle, or you can substitute in other items. I don't send you anything that is die cut or stamped from the bundle when I feature the bundle. So I already did mine on my end. I'm going to show you how we're going to put these together. Now these trees come out, and there is actually a centerpiece missing. I don't know which one. Maybe the blue one you might be able to see a little bit more so. There's like a there, maybe that way is better. You can see that the center is, it die cuts out separately. And here's the black one right here. It's super skinny. And oh, here's the blue one. I thought for a minute I lost the blue one. So here is the blue one. So what we're going to do, since we've die cut them twice, is we're going to put the blue center in the black tree, and we're going to put the black center, I got to look at this closely, this way. We're going to put the black center in the blue tree. So you can create different colors here. And I know that it's probably, I'm going to pick it up, but it's probably really hard to see, but we are creating that. Now, if you're using some different colors, it may show up a little bit better. Now, you might be wondering, Julie, how on earth are these going to stay here? This seems really like there's no way I can glue that tiny little piece in, and I don't think you should have to. I think what you could do is grab some tear and tape. Once you've got them popped in there, flip it over. So this is the back side of both of those die cuts, and just run your tear and tape along the back side, and then when you pick it up, it is already in there. How cute is that? This happens to be my favorite die cut tree in this set. So we're gonna do the same thing here. I'm just gonna kind of scooch this off and then flip it. There we go. So we're gonna bring in some more tear and tape. I highly recommend tear and tape. All the time I'm using the tear and tape. I love it. All right, so just another piece of tear and tape right there. And here's our black tree with the blue insert. How cool is that? I love this set, by the way. If anyone has this set at home, please let me know. I'd love to know if you have this as well. I'm going to check comments here really quickly because I see some new comments here. Hi, Maisie. Oh my gosh, you're in Virginia. That's so awesome. Kelly's here. Kelly says he's cute. Patty's here too. Oh, that's awesome. Maisie, I just mailed out your card kit today from last week, so I can't wait for you to get that when you get back to Maine. All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish putting this guy together. So as mentioned, we have this tear and tape on the back of our trees. So we're going to just peel this off. And now we've got already instant stick, right? It's already sticky. We're good to go. We're just going to put this on here, and you can layer it, you know, how you might want to. I will recommend though, and I didn't do it with this one, although it's not sticking up too much, if you put a little tiny bit of adhesive, I'm talking tiny, teeny tiny, at the tip of the tree, because the tape doesn't go all the way up because the tape is thicker than the little top of the tree. We're just going to bring this one down a little bit and kind of layer them here side by side. Now I realize, whoops, that glue glopped a little bit. I realize that we really have some tone on tone here. I didn't darken them down on purpose. These pieces are really meant to be background pieces, not to be like in your face. This is part of the design. It's meant to fill some space here, and it's what it's doing really beautifully. Now, if you don't like that, you want to add in some different colors, you want to enhance it with ink, whatever you want to do, absolutely. Get creative and have fun. I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to look for my dimensionals. And this is a great time to use some of those black dimensionals. Randomly, I do talk about using black dimensionals when you have something dark in the cardstock, like black or navy. These are perfect because even though they look white going on, once you remove the backing, they are actually black dimensionals. And it just kind of hides the work in case someone tips your card from side to side and wants to figure out, how did you create this? What did you do? We're going to go ahead and put this on here. Bring this up a little bit higher. I do want the bottom of my ribbon to show, so I brought that up just a little bit higher. I feel like that could be slightly crooked. Let's see if I can adjust that maybe a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, so there we go. We've got our Make Merry card. Now maybe you like it just like this, but maybe you want to throw the elf on. He is an adorable little guy. And we're going to do that with some more dimensionals. This time I'm going to bring in the white ones. And we're going to do, I think I'll do 2 on this guy right here. Maybe not. Maybe 1 more. He felt a little wobbly. Which side do I want it on? I want it on this side right here, because I'm going to let him lay off the side here a little bit, just a little bit, so that we don't cover up all of our trees in either direction. So let's put this guy on here. Now again, if you're using different colors for your cards, you can change up the elf's outfit so easily. We tend to want to make Santa in red or green. I have seen some green Santas where he's wearing a green suit, but typically we like to make our Santas in red, but the elf can be all kinds of colors. Now, if you're doing an elf girl, you could do pinks or purples. Think about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I love that special. I was actually trying to find that on my phone at work today so I could listen to it while I was working. I was in a Rudolph mood. Wanted to watch Rudolph. So think about the girl elves are all in pink. They're so cute. We're just going to put our ribbon on there with a little bit of tear and tape. And now we're just going to add in our bling. So let me find my bling. And I know I have it somewhere. So again, these are the Traditional Sparkling Sequins. They're coming to you. You're getting a free pack of these with a $75 order this week, along with the 6 card kits. But I have some kind of used partials here. So I'm going to be picking and choosing from both sheets because I may not have everything that I want to use. I've been using these for a bit. We're going to go ahead and add in some of these on the tops of our trees, so it kind of draws our eye to them. And then we're going to add in 1 more down here in the corner. I guess I'll go with I'll just use this side down here. So I've got my 3 on here, and there it is. Our elf card is done. Wow. We started out a little rough, but we sure did make it through here, didn't we? Elf card is so cute. I love this one. Make Merry. I thought that was a perfect sentiment. And you will be making 2 of these cards with your card kits. And again, this is the card that I based it off of. So this was the sketch that I had. And then I used the same layout, but I changed my theme. I changed my colors. I changed how this piece all went together. And just like that, I am inspiring you, hopefully, to create something just as lovely. All right, so elf card is done. Now, I think we should really make merry and go on to Santa card, because Santa should be in the house next. And this is the card that is going to be turned into the Santa card. I know there was delay of game earlier. I just had the wrong thing figured out. Let me move my elf pieces aside and move over elf because Santa Claus is coming to town. Now, let's find the card kit that goes with Santa. This is the card kit right here. Santa is going to be in a white card kit. So again, 2 of everything is in this envelope because it's a doubler. This is a doubler week. So 2 of each, which gives you way more play as well. So we're going to go ahead and grab out 1 thick card base in the white. Let me grab this one right here. Here's this one, and then we can see all of the parts and pieces that come to you for this one. It's just, I love to send you lots of stuff so you can play with different things. Now, the first thing we think of for an embossing folder for Santa is, of course, the brick chimney, right? Santa comes down the chimney. So I grabbed the exposed brick embossing folder because it's got like the little bricks in it. I thought that would be a good one for Santa. When I tried to pick out embossing folders for my cards, I try to use embossing folders that I feel work with the theme. So the brick in the white is where we're going. So our original card has coastal with coastal, and this piece is embossed with a 3D wreath, by the way, in case you're like, what is that embossing folder? The 3D wreath, I could have used it for this one, but I wanted to try changing it up. Now this again is Traditions of Christmas Specialty DSP. It just came back in stock. It was out of stock for forever, and it's gorgeous paper. We are going to be using the red paper. However, if you don't want to make a Santa card or an elf card or a snowman card, and you want to just create something beautiful, you've got some bones to some gorgeous cards right here. I'm telling you what. So those are your DSP selections. Actually, I should put one of those back. All right, we are still sticking with stylish shapes. We have black and white circles. And then we have, oh, you've got a green piece right here. You're getting some banners. I love the stylish shapes. I think we have 2 of each of those. You've got some of this really cute ribbon. I'm going to talk to you about the ribbon here. Again, this is a newer product, November online exclusive. This is the garden green and white, and I love it. It's got like a cute little chevron pattern to it, and it's very thin, which makes it really easy to work with. I think thinner ribbons are so much easier to work with, so you're getting a couple pieces of ribbon. You've got your white piece that could be a Santa, a snowman, or an elf. So again, you can interchange these if you want to. And then you've got some more basic black. So now that I've got the kit taken care of, let me set this one aside. And we're going to take a look at, oh, the Santa card. I love this one. I love Santa, by the way. I'm a Santa fan. Okay, so this was our original card design. And this is our Santa card design. So it's very similar. And again, there are differences as well. So you may be looking and going, wait a minute, what's the same and what's different? So we have the card base with the embossed piece. We have the stylish shape edging right here. We have the circles right here. The DSP is the same. The difference here is that this DSP is super busy pattern. So it looks like there's a lot more on this card. This pattern right here is much plainer and simpler. Our eyes can process this so quickly that we have room to expand as we're looking at it, and it looks like this has so much more room, but it is the exact same size as the one here in Coastal Cabana. So that's the difference with the design patterns. So sometimes when you're picking out a pattern for your card, think about how busy your pattern is and what you're putting on your card too. So I love the stylish shapes. We are using those on this card. So we've got our banners, and then of course, instead of the leaves and the beautiful ferns and such, we're changing it up to Santa Claus, who is coming to town, by the way. Santa's coming to town. I can't believe how close it's getting to Christmas. My coworker keeps telling me how many more days, and I'm like, please stop. Like, I am not even prepared for Thanksgiving yet. But anyway, here's our Santa, and we're going to create this gorgeous card, and we're going to make Santa on here. But again, you can switch it up if you want to. So there is the red DSP instead. So let's go ahead and put this one together. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift this embossed piece up with some dimensionals. So that kind of gives this a really rich pattern theme to it, I guess you could say. I mean, if you're adding the dimension up and creating extra layers, it just seems like you've gone all out on your card. So think about putting that embossed piece right here up on some dimensionals. Now you don't have to. You can put these on flat if you prefer. If you think it's going to be too much bulk mailing it, that's definitely an option as well. So you can glue that right down. Now this piece is designed to be the same height as your card base. So you're going to be putting this top to bottom, but you're going to also be centering it right to left. And I'm just taking my time here to line it up a little bit. I'm holding the paper up with my right hand while I'm kind of focusing on the edge here on the left and the top and the bottom, or I should say the bottom here. And it's on dimensional, so if I don't squish them all down right away, I can start over if I need to. So there we go. There we go, just like that. And I know this is white on white, so it's probably actually impossible for you to see that. I should have thought about that a little bit more. But there is that nice little edge on either side, and it just gives it that regal look as well. Now, before you put this one together, I'm going to share with you the tip that I used with my in-person stampers on Saturday. And I want you to know that I'm sending you in your kit a 1-inch piece. I made my in-person stampers use, I think it was a 1/2-inch piece. It might have been 1/4 of an inch. So they had way less cardstock to work with when they put this white piece on their card base. So we used white here to kind of help pop these colors. On this card, I love Santa cards that are red, white, and black. So we're using black this time. So what I'm going to tell you for your secret tip is do this. Grab your cardstock and just put your adhesive along one edge, one long edge like this. And then take your DSP. Now, of course, if you're going this way with it and you're putting this all together with the fancy pretty flower paper up, you're going to glue it the right way down. But we're going to go ahead and put this designer paper onto this cardstock, and here's where you get to play with it and go, I want this much black showing, I want this much black showing. So pick how much you want, and I'm giving you more choice here than my in-person stampers had. I like to use about 1/4 of an inch or so. So once you adhere that, this is what the back looks like. Kind of looks like bookbinding. It reminds me a little bit of bookbinding as well. And then once you've got that, you're good to go. You're going to be putting this down, but don't put it down yet. We're going to put down this piece first. And before we do that, we're going to do a little bit of inking. So we're bringing in Garden Green. The only ink colors I'm using for this card is Garden Green and then the Memento for Santa. And then we're going to be coloring with our blends. So we're going to get into the coloring here in just a second. And I'll share with you which blends I use on my Santa. And we're just going to go ahead and ink up the edges of the Stylish Shape banner, but we only need this much. Now, if you want to at home, you could cut this in half. I would recommend it actually. Cut this up, use this on another piece of your card. I'm sorry, a future card, but this is going to go right here onto the white before we glue down our designer series paper. So if you wanted to save that other half, you could use that on a different card. And if not, you just glue the whole thing down and you just kind of decide where you want that to go. I'm going to go right about here, I think. Now, this is going to come off the embossed piece just a little bit, but don't go off the card itself. So we are opening the right way. I just want to double check that. So there we go. Now we're going to glue this down over top. So we're basically hiding this half of our banner. If you wanted it to peek out the other side, you definitely could. These are all great options and great creativity sessions for you once you get going. Now this is going to go top to bottom on your card, just like the embossed piece. And I'm leaving a little bit of an edge of the embossed white on the right side. So I'm just kind of pressing this down. It's going onto the embossed piece, so it takes a minute to catch. So there we go. Here's the bones of our cute little card. Now we're going to go ahead and glue our stylish circles together and put them on flat. So not everything always goes on dimensionals, in case you're thinking I'm a dimensional crazy girl, which I am, not gonna lie, I like the dimensionals, but sometimes I do put things on flat. So this is an instance where we're going to do the same thing. Now this is going to fit here just perfectly across your designer series paper. How cool is that? You can offset if you want to. Absolutely. Have fun with that. Okay, so this banner is going to obviously be our sentiment piece. So we'll stamp on that. And then we've got 2 more pieces left in here besides our cute little ribbon. So we are going to do Santa on this one. Got to find my Santa stamp. Here's my stamps. I didn't grab everything out of my bucket yet. So here's Santa. Now Santa, you're going to notice, is on this clear block. This is a D block. One of my favorite blocks, D block. He's on here a little bit diagonally, and that's because he doesn't quite fit as well as Snowman fits up and down, just like so. The elf fit up and down. He's not perfectly clean, but so you can see here the elf fit on the D block. These are all D blocks. But Santa, he's a little bit taller, so he needs to be on this a little bit sideways, or you can put him on an entirely bigger block if you choose. I like the D block size. I feel like it's a good fit for my hand when I'm stamping. So I do like to use a D block when I can. So I made him fit. You can definitely do the same. We're going to ink Santa up with Memento ink. He's going to fit on this paper. And again, if you wanted to make another snowman card, if you wanted to put the elf on this card, these are all interchangeable. But here is our cute little Santa man. Santa, he's our man. And then, of course, you're going to grab the die that coordinates, and you're going to die cut Santa out, just like this. And then you're going to color him with me. So here is our Santa die cut. This one we are going to color together. So let's talk about how Santa likes to be colored. We're going to grab out not a lot of colors, but we do need Petal Pink from the elf card, because we're still going to do Santa, his skin tone. I like the light Petal Pink for that. It's a nice skin tone color. So we're just going to kind of start here and go around, do Santa's face. I'm going to kind of outline here a little bit. Now I'm coloring farther back than I normally would look at coloring. So I'm going to do my best here from a kind of a distance. But we're going to color Santa's face. We're going to make sure we get his ears over here. And we're going to do his nose and then a little bit of his mouth here. I'm going to lift this up so you can see, because I know I'm far, far away. So here's his mouth right here. Here's his nose, and then Santa's face. And I don't know how well that's showing up. On my my camera here, it looks really, really light. So we'll just add a little more color there. We'll just add more color. There we go. So there is Santa starting off beautifully. Now we're going to bring in the light smoky slate. Light smoky slate is a really great shading color. I'm going to lift this up again one more time. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of smoky around his hairline and around his beard. So I've just used it there just to kind of accent it so it doesn't quite look like it's completely just like white cardstock. When you add that little bit of shading along the top or the sides, it just kind of fills in. I'm only going to do like the bottom of his mustache, and I did around his hair a little bit, and then I'm going to catch the bottom of his beard. And I'm not making really fancy, perfect straight lines either. Kind of getting a little bit crazy here. I can't tell how well that's showing up for you. But add a little bit of shading. I'm going to take some pictures, and it's probably going to look way better than it looks right now. We're going to come in next with the dark real red, and we're going to do his hat. Now keep the white parts white, right? So I'm saying try not to go over the white spots, the fur trim, and the little pom-pom on his hat. Those should stay white, I think. Now, of course, you can color them if you wanted them. Maybe you want them to be a different color. I do like the idea of having that white. And then we're going to do his sleeve in red. The blends they throw the color down so nicely and so quickly. And this is not a lot of coloring, by the way. This is pretty quick and easy coloring, which is the way that I prefer to color. So we're going to come along here and just above his belt line, his fur belt. I guess I should say I left that white, so it's kind of like his fur trim. I'm going to go ahead and fill in all of his coat in the dark real red, just like that. Now, I might have missed a few spots, but that's okay, because we're going to come back through with some cherry. And before we get to that, though, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color his mittens in black. And again, you can choose other colors if you like. This is going to be very similar to a card that I created for my Christmas stamp camp. So it might look, the Santa might look just like that. And it's because I did it once and I really liked how it looked. And I'm just like, easy peasy. Let's rinse and repeat, right? We don't have to reinvent Santa here. He's a pretty basic man. Okay, so there is his little boots here. So there we go. Santa's got his black boots and his black mittens. Just like so. Here we go. He's coming along nice, right? Now we're going to come in with the dark cherry cobbler. And we're just going to add a few accent pieces. Now the accent pieces are going to help us to darken up a little bit and give us some shading. So we're going to come along the edges of his hat, kind of in here where the crease is. Just do kind of the outside corners. A little bit of his sleeves here, kind of a V on the upper parts of his sleeves, and then just shade along in a few spots on his coat, just to give some accent pieces to it here. I'm not doing the whole thing. I don't know if I picked this up if you can see it or not, but there are some different streaks of red in there. And because they are so dark and so splotchy right now, maybe not on camera, but they definitely are on my desk, I'm going to come back with the red that we started with. And I'm just going to kind of squiggle those lines out and fill in a little bit in case I missed any spots. And squiggling, I know squiggling, it makes a funny sound, right? But squiggle around those lines, and it just gives him a nice little bit of shading. And just like that, Santa is done. And that was quick and easy coloring. In my opinion, that was pretty quick and easy. Now you've got this garden green right here. So just like our first tree that we did on our elf card, you're going to grab out your die. You're going to grab your skinny pencil tree die, and you're going to go ahead and die cut this out. And when you do, you're going to have, I've got my pieces here, you're going to have the garden green, the die cut. So again, these come apart just like this, just like on our first card. We swapped Pretty Peacock and Basic Black, but this time we're just doing garden green. So we're going to go ahead and put this piece right back in here, and we're going to flip this over like we did on our first card, and we're going to tape this up because I do like them together here. So we're going to put a little tape on here, and then we're going to grab out, oh, we do need our garden green back again. Let's do our sponge dauber, because we're going to add a little bit of accent ink here onto this tree. I like to ink up the sides a little bit. So we're going to make that a little bit darker around the edges. Now if you see the white tear and tape backing through this die cut piece, which I do, I can see a little bit of the white because it's the tape. The back of the tape is white. Once we remove the tape, then the tape is clear, and then you won't see the white anymore that's kind of peeking through that piece. All right, so we are ready to stamp our sentiment and put this guy together. So here's our little banner sentiment. I'm going to bring the memento back in. We're doing Santa's Coming to Town for this one. Oh, that's upside down. Let's make sure we do this right side up. Right side up is always good. I'm trying to get lots of good ink on here. And then we're going to do our best, our very best here to stamp the sentiment. And there we go. Santa's Coming to Town. That worked out really nicely. So we're going to go ahead and put this together. Let me move these things off my desk. And we've got our tree, and we've got our Santa and our sentiment. And this one is a super simple, easy card. So again, if you're looking for kind of quicker, easier cards. Oh, before I do that, I want to put this down. I have to look to see where I'm at with things. That is very gloopy glue. Gloopy glue. Let me grab a scrap of something, and I'm going to just scrape some of this off. There we go. Less gloop. There we go. All right, so this is going to come over here, and I do like to angle them just on here a little bit so that they're not quite matched up completely. This might need to come over a little bit more. I got to have room for my tree. I got to have room for Santa. Santa's coming to town. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to bring the tree in, and as mentioned earlier, we might want just a little bit on the top here. Let's put some of that on my fingers. That's always a good thing. And then we're going to go ahead and bring this over here. So this tree is going to come really close to the sentiment here because I still need room for Santa. Santa's going to go on with dimensionals. So let's put Santa on with dimensionals here. Oh, I think I took the back off that one, but not the actual dimensional. Let's try to get Santa on here. There we go. And then we're going to put Santa right over here, about right here. So Santa has the option to come over almost to the edge of the card, as you can see. So he's got some room there on there. How cute is that? Santa, I love it. Love the Santa cards. Somewhere I have, oh, here's the tear and tape. Actually, I'm going to use a glue dot. As mentioned, this is very thin ribbon, which makes a nice little bow. So we're going to go ahead and glue dot the knot part of this to the card, just like this, kind of down here, just like that. Oh my goodness, I love these colors together. This is Garden Green Real Red. It does not get more Christmassy traditional than these colors right here, I think. Looking for my embellishments. I'm going to bring these over. Now I chose to use the gold. I felt like the red would really, it would blend into the red designer series paper a little bit too much. Here. Oh, actually, the beautiful part here of these acetate backings on your sequins, you can pick them up and kind of shop. So you can see here that the red, they're really going to disappear. The green is not the right color green. So that leaves me with gold. So I thought, okay, gold is going to be perfect. We're going to put a couple up here at the top. And these sequins, they do come in 3 different sizes. I do have a small one left over here. So I've got large, medium, and small on this card. So there's my little triangle of sequins for Santa. How cute is that card? He's adorable. And again, you're going to be able to make 2 of these, or you're going to flip your DSP when you get this kit at home. And you're going to make a Santa card, and then you're going to make something really pretty with flowers. So again, this was our card design that we chose to copy and create a brand new fun card with, and that is our Santa card. All right, I'm going to check it over here real quick and see. Oh, we got my friend from the Cape. Okay, just checking to see. I'm looking at your comments. I'm trying to figure out how to make this all work as I go along. All right, so there is card number 2. Now we only have 1 card left. And we're doing really good here on time because, again, 1 card left. This is 3 cards for this class. But you're getting 2 each of the designs. So you're getting like a doubler class this week, except that there's only 3 designs, not 4. This is our very popular bear card. And this one was so sweet and so cute. And in case you're playing along at home and we have a Santa and we have an elf and we have a snowman, then you already know what card this is. This is Snowman. Now, I want you, if you've been watching from the beginning, I'm going to share the cards at the end. The Santa, the elf, the snowman. At the end, I want you to tell me which team you're on. Are you on Team Santa, Team Snowman, or Team Team Elf, because there are some really cute cards here and I'd love to know which one is your favorite. So for this card, we're going to keep it kind of blue and green. We've got Misty Moonlight. Let me grab out my card base here. So our original card that we're redesigning is Cloud Cover, Pecan Pie. We are sticking with the Forever Plaid DSP. So you can see here we chose different color patterns, but very similar. And if you want to switch it up, there is green here. So this works really nicely. So we need one of everything. Let me get rid of the card bases. I have not done a double set of cards in so long. I can see how I'm getting super confused with all the parts here coming onto my desk. Like I only need half of them for tonight's class. All right, so this is Old Olive. It is embossed with the Gathering Leaves embossing folder. This is from the Fall Mini Catalog. I cannot get enough of these branching out dies. So again, branching out dies. This is what we use on our bear card here. So we are using the branching out dies here as well. All right, we need one of these. We need one piece of ribbon. We need, okay, we're going to talk about the punch here a little bit too. We've got some cloud cover and then we've got our white. Okay, now that we've got all our parts and pieces for one card, I can set this one aside. And we are going to be talking about the snowman next. I love this one. All right, so again, this ribbon is from the Fall Catalog. It is the Mossy Meadow in gold. So it's got a little bit of sparkle to it, which I thought would be great for our snowman card because snowman, you know, they kind of sparkle a little bit, right? So we've got our snowman. Now this one's going to use a little bit more ink than the last cards. We're using Cloud Cover and we've got a spot for that. We have Misty Moonlight and Old Olive. And then, of course, we're bringing in the Memento to do our stamping of the man. And let's talk about the 3-banner punch for a second. This is brand new as well. I love punches. And this is where the punch pieces are here from this card kit. On the class, the in-person class, I'm going to go back a card. I'm going to go back to the beginning. This is the elf card. So we used the 3-banner punch and we punched white cardstock. We put 3 different colors of cardstock behind the cutaway and then we stamped the sentiments in the middle. So that is a way that you can use all 3 of these at once on one card design if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, they come out, you get individual banners. We've got 2 of them for our card coming up. And they're so awesome. This is great for all of your smaller sentiments. So I just want to share with you that awesome punch. And these punch pieces are coming just like this. So you don't have to have the punch, but I'm going to tell you you're going to want the punch. We're going to be doing snowflakes with our snowman. I'm just grabbing everything out. And then we have a couple of sentiment pieces from our Keeping Traditions stamp set. This is the bonus sentiment stamp set that I'm using tonight. Cheer and Fa La La. So there's a couple of options here that are going to work. And I did use Fa La La on my first card, so I might switch it up and use Cheer on this card. When we get to our coloring of our snowman, we're going to be using Old Olive. We're going to be using Lost Lagoon. And I did bring in the light pumpkin pie for the snowman nose, because of course noses of snowman are carrots and they need to be orange. We're going to talk a little bit about, so this is the embossing folder, Gathering Leaves. I love this one. It's one of those nice big ones, but the orientation is different here than it is here. So it's something to pay attention to when you go ahead and emboss that. Yours is coming embossed for these cards, so you don't have to worry about that. But I want to talk to you a little bit about Lasting Linen. This is a brand new standalone stamp. Does not have any dies. It's a background stamp, and we use this for the first time on Saturday, and I love it. You're probably going to see me using this on so many things. So I don't know if you can see on this card or not, the background on our cloud cover base is stamped with Lasting Linen. And the reason I love this is that all of the background stamps previous were cling stamps, and they had the big sticker on them, and they were so hard to see when you have a sticker on it where exactly this is going to hit your cardstock. Because this is see-through now, it makes it so much easier to stamp these images. Oh my gosh, we're going to be using this on this card, and I can't wait to share with you how gorgeous it is. Lasting Linen is item number 167107. I highly recommend it. I love this one to pieces. I love it so much. Okay, so now that we've talked about all of our parts and pieces for this, let's talk. We're going to do this. We're stopping. Julie, stop talking. Let's stamp. Let's do the stamping. We're going to go ahead and stamp this in Misty Moonlight. So we're going to be doing tone on tone. Oh my gosh, I didn't show you the card yet, did I? Well, let's just wait a second on that. I know you're excited to see it, but let me just show you a couple things first, and then I'll bring the card in, because I didn't even bring the card in yet. Sometimes I get going, I get so excited about parts and pieces, and I'm like, let's just do this. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to ink up our big background stamp with it facing up, because this is big, right? So you can see here all of this blue ink. Loving it. This kind of gives you the texture of like jean material almost too, which I think is so cool. All right, now I know this is big, and it might be more than some people want to like be able to like hold on to or work with. So if you prefer, you can actually lay this on top, put a paper over it, do the whole thing with it facing, the stamps facing up. But I like to just, you know, kind of live dangerously. And now that I can see better, and I can see where all of the pieces are going to hit my card base, I'm super excited to just pop this baby down and just press on a little bit. Make sure you're getting all of the ink transferred over. And ta-da! Look at how cool this is. Now, you might not be able to see it, so I'm going to open up my card base. So this is the back side, not stamped. And this is the stamped side over here. And I love the texture, and it's just so simple. And if you do it a little bit crooked, doesn't even matter, because this is just such a forgiving pattern too. But I love that it just looks instantly textured, and all you've done was add ink. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a couple things together here. We've got this great embossed piece of Old Olive. We're going to do some Old Olive blending brush sponging on it. So we're going to go ahead and grab this, and we're going to make just the edges darker. And I recently re-inked my Old Olive, so my Old Olive ink is a lot darker than it used to be. This will actually dry a little bit lighter. So when you freshly re-ink things on your ink pad, it's definitely a game changer. It adds so much more color, and then you'll be using it for a while and it'll fade, and you'll be like, wow, there's not enough ink, so then you have to re-ink them. So I always recommend you get the re-inkers when you buy an ink pad, so you have that option. When it's time to do it, you're ready to go. Okay, so now we've got that going on. We've got this going on here. I'm just going to kind of put a couple things together. Now, if you don't want to do the plaid, get this out of the way. If you don't want to do the plaid, maybe you're like, this is our old sample card. I haven't showed you the new sample yet. You can flip this over. You could do kind of more of a masculine card again. The blues and the greens going to be a great masculine birthday card, what have you. We are making a snowman card today. I feel like we need a little bit more blue for the snowman, because snowman cards should have some blue in them, right? All right, let me bring the card in. I've teased you long enough. I know you're waiting to check this out. Okay, just checking to see. I was looking at a comment for a minute. Okay, here is our adorable snowman card. I love this one. This might be my favorite, actually, of all of them. And it has the least amount of coloring in it, too. So the snowman is super cute. He is fashioned after our bear card. So you're going to see here, we've used the background stamping on both. We've got the same embossing folder, same size DSP. We've got the same branching out dies, and then we've just changed whatever we put on here, and we've added, of course, a little bit more to our snowman card. But this is where we're going with our Fa La La card. So we're going to go ahead and we can actually glue this down. I am keeping the plaid paper facing up. Oh, my glue keeps kind of getting stuck here in between cards today. So we're going to go ahead and center this on here, and then we're going to put this right down onto our card base. So Fa La La, here is our snowman card. So adorable. And this one's going to be super easy to put together too. Okay, so just like on our first card, or our sample card with the bear, we did our stamping of the sentiment on this white piece of layering here. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. Let me bring in my scrap paper again. And this time we're going to be stamping, you guessed it, our snowflakes. So this is a snowflake that's in with the Festive Friends Bundle. So we're going to go ahead and ink this up, and I'm going to share with you a really great way. make sure you can see the really great way as I'm sharing it. A really great way to figure out how to do some random stamping. Okay, so random stamping may not be as random as you think. Like sometimes people like randomly stamp that and you're like, well, wait, where do I even start? So check this out, because I was just kind of thinking about how I would stamp this. So I'm going to start up here in the left corner. One stamp right there. And I'm going to come down at an angle this way. So think about kind of like tic-tac-toe, right? So I've got 3 here kind of coming down diagonally. So there is some random stamping right there. Now I'm going to kind of fill in. I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. And while it's random, it's also kind of almost in a pattern that is pleasing to the eye, because there is technically some order to it. So I'm going to start my next kind of downward pattern right here. So you can see the randomness of this at the same time. I'm trying to make sure the angle is right. So we started here, and then we came up and did this one, and we came up and we did this one. So while it's still random, it's also really just, it looks really nice. So there is your random stamping tip. In case you're ever trying to figure out how to randomly stamp something, you can still do a pattern to random stamping. So feel free to try that out sometime. All right, we're going to go ahead and ink up. Let's see, I've got some Misty Moonlight and a dauber here somewhere. We're bringing Misty Moonlight back in. We already used it for our background stamping. I know you guys are loving that linen background stamp as much as I am. I can tell that you're like, yes, that is the coolest background stamp ever. I think it is anyway. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this real quick. And just some ink on the edges here is just perfect. Let me close this back up. And then we're going to glue this together. So our nested dies are some of my favorite dies. This happens to be the branching out. I'm using these quite a bit. I love the little cut corners. They almost look like they were snipped here, just to be just like that. Stampin' Up! Used to have a punch that did this, the corner rounding punch. One rounded and one kind of cut these cute little corners. Very similar to that. We're going to put this branching out die configuration on our card with dimensionals. Grab those out next. And then we're going to do a little bit more die cutting. We have to color our cute little snowman. I think I'm going to do a little bit of opposite coloring for this one, just so we can see what it would look like if we took him in the opposite direction of the pattern that he's in right now. This is going to come on here right about here. So again, this is what you're getting in your card kit. You could change up the theme completely at this point if that's what you wanted to do. Let me get rid of that. All right, let's talk about the rest of the pieces here for your kit. We have to stamp our snowman. He's going to get stamped in Memento. I do have a snowman. I wanted to make sure I had a snowman over here. Okay. I forget where my camera is over here sometimes. I apologize if I go like a little bit lower on the desk and then I realize that I'm not in scene. You can't really see what I'm doing. I'm practicing every time I do my lives. It's practice, practice, practice. Okay, so here's our cute little snowman. Again, same size paper. You can interchange Santa. You can interchange the elf. Got all the options. And then you just choose from your dies to die cut the snow. Oh, here he is right here. The snowman die. He's got the little, the hat poofy here at the end. So you'll just die cut him and then you're going to color him in. Now we're also going to die cut, while we have our dies out, this cloud cover piece of cardstock. You're going to die cut the little shaggy tree, and on this white piece of cardstock you're going to die cut yourself some gorgeous snowflakes. I recommend these bigger ones right here, not necessarily the tiny ones. This one makes very tiny snowflakes, so we're going to leave that one. We're just going to do these 3. So you'll die cut these, and when you're done with all of that, you've got all your pieces right here. Here's our snowman. Here's our little shaggy tree. Look at how cute this is. Little shaggy tree. We have a bow with our ribbon. Done that ahead too. Let me move my dies back over to my magnet sheet so we don't lose them. And we'll get rid of these papers so that we can see what we have left to work with for our card. All right, so we should have a cloud cover dauber. We're going to bring in our cloud cover ink. And we're going to just add a little bit here to the edges of this tree just to give it some kind of outline that'll make it stand out and be a little bit bolder. You can do all the sides if you want to. just like that. So there's our tree. It's going to come onto our card base over here. How cute is that? Now, if you didn't want to put one of these elements on here and you just wanted to add the trees, you could add the skinny pencil tree in Old Olive, and you could add this tree in Cloud Cover, and it would be a really cute card too. And of course the snowflakes. You have to add the snowflakes. This card is not complete without snowflakes. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and color our little snowman here. Now, again, there's less coloring on this because the snowman is white and the cardstock is white. And that means we don't have to color as much. I know I always get excited because I'm like, wow, I only have to color a little bit. It's not as much work. So here we go. The nose is done. The nose is done in light pumpkin pie. Love it. All right. So I said maybe I'm going to change up some things. So I'm going to be using Old Olive and Cloud Cover. Those are the only colors I have right here. But I'm going to change this up. So we're going to go with Cloud Cover for his scarf. And we're going to do opposites. Because sometimes opposites are fun, right? So on the card, the sample card here, I did his scarf in Old Olive. This time we're going to do a scarf in Cloud Cover. We're going to change up some of these items here. So I'm going to do, I start with the light, and I'm going to go in and add a little bit of dark here, just for a little bit of shading, kind of right down the center here. And I'll come back with this one real quick and just add a little bit more here. And there we go. His scarf is beautiful. Now, over here, I started with Cloud Cover, so now I'm going to start with the Old Olive. So he's going to have more green, because you can see there's more blue on the snowman on my card. This doesn't want to open. There we go. Sometimes the barrels pop off, and I was afraid that was going to happen. Okay, so this is the biggest section right here to color, is the first part of his hat. I like to go around the outside edges first and kind of make sure I got those, and then I can scribble quicker in the middle. And that's what I kind of consider that this coloring is kind of like some quick scribblings. I'm not going to close that one. I'm going to keep that open for just a second because we're still working with it. So I'm going to go ahead and add in some of this darker. And then this shading is going to show up a little bit better on this, so I can kind of share with you when I'm talking about adding the darker sections to parts of it. This is what I'm actually doing, is kind of outlining just parts of it. And then I'm going to come back through and scribble the lighter color right over top and kind of blend those lines out so they're not so harsh. And then sometimes I add in a little bit more, and then we're good. So we're going to continue here. So every other one's got to be this green color now. So I've got the light in my hand. I'm going to finish this next section of his hat. And of course, this is where you could be super creative and you could use multiple colors. This guy could have the cutest hat in the world. Like, really cute. I'm going to add in a little bit of shading here. Come back with my light. Now, the Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based, so you definitely don't want to keep them open for very long because they will dry out. So we are done, though, with the green. Now we're going to fill in with blue. How cute is this guy coming along? So I'm going to start with the light. I'm sorry, this is Cloud Cover, by the way. I said blue, but it's Cloud Cover. And we're going to come through here and just do the center sections here of the hat. And just a little bit of shading. Not too much. We're going to do the pom-pom in the dark. Oh, I missed this other little part right here. This tiny little part at the top should be the light color. Oh, well, I got the light color. We'll scribble some more color on there. And there we go. He is good. He is so cute. And it was really pretty quick, right? So we have the one that has more blue, and we have the one that has more green. So you can see here, and you know where I'm going with this. I'm going to be asking you which one you like better. All right, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And we're going to do cheer this time. I need to find Misty Moonlight. This is going on the punched piece. Again, these are the photopolymer stamps. You can see right through here. I'm going to go ahead and put this right on. Hopefully that's the center of this cute little punched piece. How cute is that? So this guy is going to say cheer. A very cheery card, I think. And then we're going to go ahead and glue the cheer sentiment piece onto, oh, that's not my glue holder, oh my goodness. We're going to put this right onto the Old Olive punched piece. So you can layer them together, which I think is really awesome. So you get that cute little banner going there side to side. Now before we put that down, we're going to go ahead and glue down, first we're going to glue down our tree. Now the tree has some little slits in it, so just be kind of careful with how much glue you use. I say that right now and look at that. Trouble ahead, trouble ahead. We're going to try to not use too much glue, just a little bit. And then this guy's going to come right over here on the edge of our branching out dies right here. And then we're going to bring in our little snowman with some dimensionals. How cute is this? I love it. Oh, there we go. 3 of those should be good. And we're going to go ahead and bring our snowman in next. Now that we're doing the snowman before the sentiment, I'm going to share why in just a second. Look how cute that is. I just love this one. This one, of course, is my favorite. We're going to do the cheer next, or sentiment piece, I should say. We're going to bring in some mini dimensionals for this piece because I do want to pop this up, but because it's a skinnier, narrower piece, I'm going to go ahead and use the minis on it instead. So it's always good to have all the options in your craft room, all of them. You will feel very much cheered if you have all the things when you start to do your project. All right, so I put these guys down first because if I put the cheer on first, then I might have problems getting this exactly where I want it to go. So just think about that, you know, where you want things to be layered on your card. So then we can put this kind of close to our snowman without it being too overlapping one way or another. So there is our cheer. Isn't that so cute? Now we have to do our little snowflakes, and I did pop these up on dimensionals as well, minis again. I gotta look to see which side is the back. That's the back side. Okay, so mini dimensionals. We're using, of course, white ones. We're gonna put this right in the center, and I know that the biggest snowflake has, oh, that's probably not right in the center. Let's try that again. The biggest snowflake that I did first has a little hole in it, and the dimensional is going to show right through, but we're going to add our little embellishments over top of these so that it's going to cover that up. So let's go ahead and, if this wants to come off my surface, oh, there it is right there. See that little sticky spot? There's a little center there that's die cut out. Now it's sticky right there too. We're going to put this one right up here in the corner. So we're adding in our cute little snowflakes. I feel like snowflakes look really nice against a blue background. So that was one of the reasons I chose this color for this card base. Oh, let's see, I put this one down here. Of course, there's no right or wrong. Where your snowflakes are falling on your card, they can fall wherever you want them to fall. It's nice so that you don't have to shovel these, you don't have to drive in them. These are just nice snowflakes. So we've got a little trio of snowflakes up there, and we're going to cover over the snowflakes with some of these great blue embellishments. That's going to take care of that sticky spot right there on the big snowflake. Just like that, it's just meant to be. We're going to go ahead and add one onto each of them. Well, that didn't turn out beautifully, but we're going to adjust it a little bit. And then we've got one more, and I'm using the medium ones on the 2 smaller snowflakes just in case the dimensional kind of sticks out a little bit. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Like the little sparklies on there, and the sparkly of these kind of glittery traditional sparkling sequins really it works really well for the snowflake where you want things to kind of be sparkling and cute. All right, we're going to add the bow on. I already made my bow. We're going to put the tear and tape on this side. I always have to look to see which side I would want that to be on. So there we go. We're going to put this right down here in the corner. A nice little bow of sorts. It's cute. And all of these things just work together so beautifully. Now this ribbon is called Mossy Meadow, but it works beautifully with your old olive. So there's always tones that go together. Stampin' Up! Is really great about the colors that just work together seamlessly, it feels like. Just seamlessly. So here we go. We have Fa La La and we have Cheer. 2 different cards, really, right? 2 different sentiments, 2 different colors of the snowman. And you know I'm going to be asking you if you like the blue one better, the more blue or the more green for the snowman. So this is a last look at our cards here. We did 3 cards today. You are actually, with your card kit, you're making everything that you see right here. You're getting 2 Santa kits, 2 snowmans, and 2 elves. Now, this is where I'm going to ask you, are you Team Santa? Are you Team Elf? Or are you Team Snowman? I can't wait to read your comments to see what you think about these really cute cards. So a $60 order. It is a little bit different this week. You're getting 6 card kits. $60 order, you're getting these kits for free. When you bump up to $75, you're getting the 6 card kits plus this pack of embellishments for free, and that's with your $75 order. That is before your shipping and tax, after your coupons, so it's actual merchandise that you're purchasing in my online store. Please keep in mind that there's also a potential sale next week of some mystery type products. All right, let me see if I can switch my camera over here, and we'll get rid of picture in a picture. And there we go. All right, so I can see over there, my laptop is farther away, so I can't really read all of the comments. I see a Team Santa from Jess, though. So I'm trying to see. Kathy says Team Snowman. This is fun. I like that I can kind of see your comments. I'm going to read them all, of course, but I can't wait to see what you guys are saying about them. These are really fun cards to make. And again, they were created based on cards that had completely different themes on Saturday. So I want to inspire you, encourage you to take any card design that you see, whether it's from me or from other stampers, and just change it up. Have fun with it. Play with the patterns. Do your thing. Your creativity is literally in your own hands. So thank you so much for spending time with me. I can't wait to read all your comments. I think we're probably going to have a lot of Team Snowman and Team Santa. That's my guess. I'm just really excited to see what you guys are thinking too. All right, so I will be sharing pictures of these cards on Facebook this week. They will also be shared by email. Look for a card recipe in your inbox on Thursday for the email newsletter. And if you guys have any questions on the ordering special as we go through the week, please let me know. I can't wait to see what you guys create. And that is all we got for tonight. Now keep in mind, next week I will not be live with a card class. Next week is Thanksgiving week. Have a wonderful, blessed holiday next week. I will not be doing a card class on Monday. I will have an online ordering special that's going to run in conjunction with Stampin' Up's Black Friday week special. So you can double dip with me. I'm going to be offering you things with your order, and Stampin' Up's going to be offering you a sale. So look for those details coming up. I'll be sharing them toward the end of the week and into next week as well. So thank you again for taking time to hang out with me. I appreciate you guys so much. And until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, my friends.